Hey guys, and welcome to the second episode of this series that I don't have a name for yet. So that brings us to the first problem, or question actually. Um, I wondered if you guys could help me find a name for this park, because I don't want to call it Voodoo Land, and I'm actually really bad at making up original names for this kind of stuff. So if you have a good idea for a name, please leave it down in the comments, and maybe you'll be the winner of, naming this show. So in this episode I'll be building a corner shop for the other side, the park side of the entrance, mainly just to cover up the weirdly angled outer corner of the building, but I think it works out pretty well in the end, just because I wanted to also block the vision a bit from the outside, because next to these buildings there'll be a lot of foliage, but I don't want to break my game with a lot of bushes, even though I want it to be, jungle-like. So yeah, I made a mistake on with choosing this theme to be jungle-ish, because my computer isn't that good, and it will probably break the park if I already put a lot of foliage in. But so I wanted to break the vision from the paths as much as I could with this shop. And I'm gonna build some African masks for decoration. So that was really an interesting thing to do, just looking up pictures from Google and trying to replicate them as best as possible. But yeah, at the same time, I kind of figured out that they would look better if I just made them up myself, because if you try to replicate something in real life from the art pieces in Planet Coaster, you'll notice that, they're just a little bit too big or too small, or oh man, it was so hard. So in the end I found I think I found a great way to, or at least, acceptable way to make these masks, and I think they turn out to be, they look kind of good. So they're gonna be used in all kinds of different sections in the park, and I think I'll make more than the ones that I have now, but for now, for the entrance area, I think I have enough. So yeah, but for now I'm just, starting the shop, trying to make the roof stick out a little bit like I did in the entrance building at the front, which is a total bitch, by the way. These straw roof or thatched roofs, or that freaking thatched. English isn't my native language, so please forgive my terrible accent. But anyway, these straw roofs are really a bitch to make, so I'm gonna try and put as many different kind of straw roofs with these pieces in the entrance area, so I can just copy and paste them around the park when I need them. I'll try to, not make everything the same. I'm gonna make some wooden houses too, and a little bit of, maybe even towers or tree houses, I don't know. But for now I'm just gonna try as many different things as possible, so that I don't have to worry about that later. But they are so hard to, make look like they're, part of the rest of the roof, and so hard to rotate them. There's something really funky going on with the axis of this piece, especially. I don't think they're made for rotating them in this really, different ways. I think they're just made to make a little bit of a trim outside of the normal big grid piece of this roof. But yeah, I'm gonna use them in a lot of different ways. Unfortunately, the axes don't work, but yeah, it's gonna take some time, but I guess it's worth it, because I couldn't imagine this kind of architecture with any kind of other roof that we have in the game, or I can make from different pieces. And honestly, I don't want to make this park too complicated with, all the kinds of to use a lot of pieces in the way that they're not meant to, because yeah, my computer isn't the best, and I don't want to make this a lag fest before I can even, put a coaster in or something. But it's gonna be hard for me, because I really like to put a lot of different tiny details in that you really don't even see from a couple of meters away. But yeah, I'm just a perfectionist like that, so that's gonna be hard. But we'll see how far we'll get before my computer just gives up. It won't really matter for the videos anyway, because I'm recording in like 8 FPS later, because it's gonna be sped up anyway, so you don't really see it. So yeah, here I'm starting the masks, because I decided I wanted one on the top of, you know, this little shop above it as a decoration piece. But then I decided just to make a couple and put them in a blueprint so I can use them later. So that's gonna be the rest of the episode, just me making all kinds of different masks and faces that look kind of scary but fun at the same time. You know, it's actually really hard to make them as diverse as I can, because I started out making these really plain ones, you know, just I wanted to make them look like wood, like they were old. Like kind of like I saw them in the art exhibit that I talked about in the previous episode. But then I started googling these masks and I found out that there are ones with a lot of decoration and a lot of color. So when I found that out, I just, you know, started to use a lot of decoration pieces, and it was a little bit easier for me to make them as diverse as I can. So I think in the end, it kind of worked out, because I have a couple of different ones with different shapes, and you know, later on it's gonna be probably a little bit harder to make them not look like each other, but at the same time, these masks doesn't really matter if they look a little bit the same, because yeah, they do have a very distinct kind of look to them that is almost always the same, so it's not that bad. But it is really hard to make these masks out of, you know, art pieces, because the glossy texture to them, it doesn't really look like wood, and it is completely impossible to make these out of wood, because yeah, I tried. So the art pieces are the best solution, but at the same time they don't really look old or gritty in any case, so I think they work out pretty well, but it's a little bit more cartoony and crispy than I would want it to be. But yeah, I kind of make peace with it, so it's alright, I guess. What's probably gonna be harder is to make the statues itself, because they are, you know, I could make these masks pretty easily, because I could just, you know, sink in half of the pieces and just use the little bit that I need. But on the other side of this wall, everything's sticking out. So if I wanted to make this in a 3D object that I can't really sink in anything, then that's probably gonna be a bitch to figure out. But I'm not there yet, so you'll probably see me struggling with that later in another episode. But for now, I'm just happily making these little creepy faces. I'm trying to give this one teeth, but as you can see, even the smallest little triangle piece doesn't work, and I couldn't really find another piece that, you know, wouldn't look weird with the art pieces, because that's kind of another problem. You can't really combine the normal pieces with the art pieces, because, you know, it just doesn't look like it fits together. So you just have to find a way to do it with the art pieces, and that's it. I mean, the only thing you can probably use is you know, the icing decorations, because they have the same kind of glossy texture, and you'll see me using them later. But you know, you can't really use wood through with these art pieces, because it kind of breaks the illusion that it's supposed to be wood if you put an actual wood piece in there, because you can, like, you know, compare them with your vision and then just see like that doesn't work, that's too glossy for wood. So yeah, it's kind of a hard thing to do. So but yeah, for the rest of the episode, you're just gonna see me struggling hard with the art pieces to make as many different kind of masks as I can. So I don't really have much to talk about anymore, so I'm just gonna leave you here and let you enjoy the rest of the episode. So yeah, if you have a great idea for a name for my park, please leave it in the comments. And if you're nice, you know, subscribe, like, support me. And I'll see you in the next episode.